The life you're living today is a reflection of the thoughts you've repeated for years. Change your thoughts, and you can change your future. What if the biggest thing holding you back isn't your circumstances, your education, or your opportunities? What if it's the way you've been programmed to think every single day? Your mind is running patterns that were built over years. Patterns of doubt, fear, procrastination, and limitation. And the scary part is most people never realize they're operating on autopilot. But here's the good news: if your mind was programmed, it can be reprogrammed. The most successful people in the world don't have different brains. They have different mental habits. They think differently, see opportunities differently, and respond to challenges differently. So today, I want to show you how to break free from the mental programming that's keeping you average and how to reprogram your mind for massive success. Because the moment you change the way you think, you change the way you live. Most people never realize that the biggest obstacles in their lives are not outside of them. They are inside their minds. Long before we face challenges in the real world, we often face invisible barriers created by our own beliefs. These beliefs quietly influence our decisions, shape our actions, and determine what we think is possible. The problem is that many of these beliefs were never consciously chosen. They were formed over years through experiences, failures, criticism, social conditioning, and the opinions of others. A limiting belief is simply an idea that convinces you that you cannot do something, do not deserve something, or are not capable of becoming something greater. It may sound like, I'm not smart enough, I'm too old, I don't have the right connections, success is for other people, or I've always been this way. These thoughts can feel so familiar that they begin to sound like facts, even when there is no evidence to support them. Think about how many dreams have been abandoned because of a single belief. Someone wants to start a business but believes they are not qualified. Someone wants to speak confidently but believes they are naturally shy. Someone wants financial freedom but believes wealth is only for a lucky few. In each case, the belief becomes stronger than the desire. The person doesn't stop because they lack potential. They stop because they have accepted a story about themselves. The human mind is powerful because it constantly looks for evidence to support what it already believes. If you believe you are incapable, your mind will focus on every mistake you make and ignore your strengths. If you believe you are unlucky, your mind will notice every setback and overlook every opportunity. The belief becomes a filter through which you see the world. Two people can face the exact same situation and walk away with completely different conclusions because they are operating from different beliefs. Many limiting beliefs are created during childhood. A teacher's criticism, a parent's warning, a friend's rejection, or a single failure can leave a lasting impression. Over time, these experiences become internal messages. A child who struggles with a subject in school may begin to believe they are unintelligent. A person who experiences rejection may start believing they are not worthy of success or recognition. These beliefs can remain hidden for years, influencing choices without being questioned. The danger of limiting beliefs is that they often operate silently. They do not announce themselves. Instead, they show up as hesitation, procrastination, self-doubt, and fear. You may think you are being realistic when, in reality, you are being controlled by an assumption that has never been challenged. You may tell yourself that you are simply being cautious when deep down you are avoiding action because you fear failure. The belief stays protected because it remains invisible. The first step toward reprogramming your mind is awareness. You cannot change a belief you refuse to acknowledge. Start paying attention to the thoughts that appear whenever you consider doing something difficult or ambitious. Listen carefully to the excuses, doubts, and fears that arise. Those thoughts are often clues pointing directly to the limiting beliefs that have been controlling your behavior. Whenever you hear yourself saying, "I can't," ask yourself why. When you feel resistance toward a goal, ask yourself what belief is creating that resistance. Dig deeper than the surface explanation. Sometimes the real belief is hidden underneath several layers of reasoning. A person may say they do not have enough time to pursue their dream, but underneath that excuse may be a belief that they are not capable of succeeding. The lack of time is not the true obstacle, the belief is. One of the most powerful questions you can ask is this belief actually true? Many limiting beliefs begin to lose their power the moment they are examined. When you look for evidence, you often discover that the belief is based on a few isolated experiences rather than objective reality. Just because something happened once does not mean it will happen again. Just because you failed in the past does not mean you are destined to fail in the future. Every successful person has faced moments when their beliefs were challenged. The difference is that they refused to let old assumptions define their future. They understood that growth requires replacing limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," they asked, "How can I become better?" Instead of saying, "I can't do this," they asked, "What do I need to learn?" This shift transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth. Your beliefs influence your identity, and your identity influences your actions. If you believe you are someone who gives up easily, your actions will reflect that identity. If you believe you are resilient, determined, and capable of learning, your behavior will begin to align with those qualities. The mind always tries to stay consistent with what it believes to be true about itself. Many people wait for confidence before taking action, but confidence often comes after action. By taking small steps that challenge your limiting beliefs, you create new evidence. Every achievement, no matter how small, sends a message to your mind that the old belief may no longer be true. Over time, repeated action creates a new story. The person who once believed they were incapable begins to see proof of their potential. The person who once doubted themselves begins to trust their ability to grow, adapt, and overcome challenges. Limiting beliefs survive when they remain unquestioned. They grow stronger when they are repeated and accepted without examination. The moment you become aware of them, challenge them, and replace them with more empowering perspectives, you begin taking back control of your mindset. The stories you tell yourself today will shape the opportunities you pursue tomorrow. Every major transformation begins when a person decides that their old beliefs are no longer qualified to determine their future. Most people spend their lives focusing on what they want to achieve without ever understanding why they want to achieve it. They set goals, chase opportunities, and work hard. But somewhere along the way they lose motivation, become distracted, or feel empty even after accomplishing what they once desired. The reason this happens is simple. Goals without purpose are difficult to sustain. When challenges arise, a goal alone is often not strong enough to keep you moving forward. Purpose is what gives meaning to effort and direction to ambition. Your purpose is the deeper reason behind your actions. It is the answer to the question, why does this matter to me? It goes beyond money, status, recognition, or external rewards. Those things may motivate you for a short period of time, but purpose creates lasting motivation because it is connected to something more meaningful. When people have a strong sense of purpose, they are able to endure setbacks, remain committed during difficult times, and continue moving forward even when progress seems slow. Many people confuse goals with purpose. A goal is something you achieve. A purpose is something that drives you. Becoming financially successful can be a goal. Providing freedom and security for your family can be a purpose. Building a successful business can be a goal. Creating a positive impact on people's lives can be a purpose. The goal may change over time, but the purpose often remains consistent because it is connected to your values and beliefs. Without a clear purpose, it is easy to become distracted by other people's expectations. Society constantly tells us what success should look like. We are encouraged to pursue certain careers, lifestyles, and achievements because they are considered desirable. Many people spend years climbing a ladder only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. They achieve what they thought they wanted, only to discover that the destination does not bring the fulfillment they expected. Purpose acts as a compass. It helps you make decisions with greater clarity. When opportunities appear, purpose helps you determine whether they align with the direction you truly want to go. Without that compass, every opportunity can seem attractive, and every distraction can pull you away from what matters most. People who lack purpose often find themselves constantly changing directions because they are chasing external validation rather than internal meaning. One of the reasons purpose is so powerful is because it gives significance to struggle. Every worthwhile journey includes obstacles, failures, and moments of doubt. When your efforts are connected to a meaningful purpose, those challenges become easier to endure. The struggle no longer feels pointless because you understand what you are fighting for. Purpose transforms hardship into growth and setbacks into lessons. Think about the people who inspire others the most. They are not always the most talented or the most intelligent. Often, they are individuals who are deeply connected to a cause greater than themselves. Their purpose gives them energy, resilience, and determination. People are naturally drawn to those who know why they do what they do because purpose creates authenticity. It creates conviction. It creates a sense of direction that others can feel. Discovering your purpose is not about finding a perfect answer overnight. Many people make the mistake of believing that purpose arrives as a sudden revelation. In reality, purpose is often uncovered through reflection, experience, and self-awareness. It requires asking deeper questions about what matters to you, what motivates you, and what kind of impact you want to have on the world around you. One way to begin identifying your purpose is by examining the moments when you feel most alive and engaged. What activities make you lose track of time? What subjects naturally capture your attention? What problems do you feel passionate about solving? These questions can provide valuable clues about what truly matters to you. Purpose is often hidden within your interests, values, strengths, and experiences. Another important question to ask yourself is what kind of legacy you want to leave behind. Imagine looking back on your life years from now. What would make you feel proud? What contribution would you want people to remember? Thinking about your legacy can help shift your focus away from temporary rewards and towards something more meaningful and enduring. Purpose is also closely connected to service. While personal success is important, many people discover their deepest sense of purpose when they focus on helping others. This does not necessarily mean changing the entire world. It can be as simple as improving the lives of your family, supporting your community, inspiring others through your work, or sharing knowledge that helps someone grow. Purpose becomes stronger when it extends beyond personal gain. A clear purpose creates emotional fuel. There will be days when motivation disappears. There will be moments when you feel tired, discouraged, or uncertain. During those times, purpose becomes more important than motivation. Motivation is temporary and often influenced by emotions. Purpose remains steady because it is rooted in something deeper than feelings. It reminds you why you started and why continuing matters. When you understand your purpose, your actions begin to align with your values. You become more intentional with your time, energy, and decisions. You stop chasing every opportunity and start focusing on the opportunities that support your mission. You become less concerned with comparing yourself to others because you are no longer following their path. You are following your own. Purpose also influences the way you view success. Instead of measuring success only by external achievements, you begin measuring it by alignment with your values and progress toward meaningful goals. Success becomes less about proving yourself to others and more about becoming the person you are capable of becoming. This shift creates a deeper sense of fulfillment because your actions are connected to something that truly matters to you. Every great achievement begins with a reason. Every lasting transformation begins with a purpose. Before you focus on how to achieve your goals, take time to understand why those goals matter. The clearer your purpose becomes, the stronger your commitment becomes. The stronger your commitment becomes, the more resilient you become in the face of challenges. Purpose gives direction to ambition, meaning to effort, and strength to continue moving forward when the path becomes difficult. One of the most powerful forces shaping your life is something most people rarely pay attention to: the conversation happening inside their own minds. Every day, the thousands of thoughts pass through your head. Some encourage you, some challenge you, and some quietly hold you back. The words you repeatedly say to yourself become the foundation of your mindset, your confidence, and ultimately your results. Whether you realize it or not, your self-talk is constantly programming your mind. Most people understand the importance of speaking positively to others, yet they often speak to themselves in ways they would never speak to a friend. After making a mistake, they call themselves failures. After experiencing rejection, they convince themselves they are not good enough. After facing a setback, they begin questioning their abilities. These internal messages may seem harmless at first, but when repeated often enough, they become beliefs. Your mind is always listening. It does not clearly distinguish between what is objectively true and what is repeatedly reinforced. If you consistently tell yourself that you are incapable, your brain begins searching for evidence to support that statement. If you repeatedly focus on your weaknesses, your attention naturally shifts toward limitations instead of possibilities. The words you use become instructions that influence how you think, feel, and act. Negative self-talk often develops gradually. It can be influenced by childhood experiences, criticism from others, failures, disappointments, or comparisons. Over time, These experiences create an internal voice that constantly questions your worth and potential. The problem is that many people mistake this voice for reality. They assume that because a thought exists, it must be true. In reality, thoughts are not facts. Thoughts are interpretations, and interpretations can be changed. Imagine carrying around a coach who constantly tells you that you will fail, that you are not talented enough, and that success is impossible. No matter how much potential you possess,